It's like we're being told that reality is this thin, when in reality it's like it's infinite. And so what's in front of us is there's just so much more, and there's so much more possibility. In reality, there's no limitations to what we can experience and what we can create. And so we keep ourselves so small and we tell ourselves, oh, I can't, I can't, I can't, you know. We all have these dreams. We have these dreams of a greater world, of a greater life for ourselves, for everybody. And it starts with opening up to, hey, there is so much more possible for me. There is so much more that I can achieve if I believe, if I tune in, if I harmonize my body, mind, spirit with the natural world, get away from technology, get away from my beliefs that I have to adhere to a certain way of being, if I remove the limitations, stop saying but, you know, and just be like, hey, okay, I'm going to start opening up and listening to the beauty of God that is all around me and that is striving for harmony, right? I think that in the end, we're all looking for a sense of harmony. And so this is where life is guiding us to. This is how we can feel a sense of fulfillment and joy. And so listening, and this is how we can actually start to live a life of self-sufficiency, because life, if this is what we strive for, this is what we want, we don't want to be slaves anymore to systems that are hurting us and that are making it so that we are not feeling fulfilled, then we need to start daring to listen and daring to act upon where we're being guided courageously.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So, and you mentioned the word illusion earlier. In ancient Sanskrit, Hindu tantric texts, the world illusion was known as Maya, right? I'm just going to break that down a little bit. And the ancient mystics, the Buddha himself, said there are techniques to transcending Maya, the world illusion. It doesn't mean the world is an illusion. It means there's an illusion superimposed kind of dimensionally over the world, over human consciousness, that we're meant to transcend and break free from. Now, how we can relate to that nowadays is there were the movies with Keanu Reeves, right? The Matrix. This was based on a book. This was the modern way of understanding Maya, the world illusion, is that we are all plugged into something that we arrived plugged into, but it's not reality, and we can literally break free from it. And in the movie, right, they broke into true reality, which is much more harsh to your senses and much more limited in the sense that you're not perceiving all of this illusionary wonder, but you're experiencing authentic reality for the first time, and you finally have the controls over your own destiny. And at any point, you can plug yourself back into Maya, the illusion, the Matrix, and start to have more mastery and control over the Matrix, right? Like Neo was when he would go into the Matrix. He was like the God man. This was the Buddha. This was the Christ. These were these mystics, St. Joseph of Cupertino, who had these abilities to do things that normal humans could not do. And the reason is because they were able somehow to break free from the chains, from the slavery of this illusion, this Matrix. And we now, back to my point of the world being so connected with social media and having these conversations, have more access and potential than any other time in the history of humanity to all collectively break free from the illusion, Maya, the Matrix, and start to integrate ourselves into true reality, to live in what the Rastafari, a lot of people, and I don't want this to be misconstrued, but Zion, a perfect reality, Nirvana, as they called it in the ancient Sanskrit text, right? When you would break free from Maya, you had access to Nirvana, a pure, perfect state of reality in which you could reintegrate yourself into the Matrix and have a lot more control and inner peace and insight into what was going on in the processes of nature and science and reality and mind that we didn't have access to before because we were being controlled by some type of external oppressionist system that isn't necessarily evil. It's just meant to make life easier for us in the sense that we don't have to have the free will and power to do things ourselves.
Totally. Empowerment. Yeah, it's all about empowerment is what I was going to go and say. It's like remembering that we are so powerful and that we can achieve anything we want, and stopping self-sabotage, which so many of us are good at, including myself, and being like, no, I can create a life that is aligned with my dreams, with my heart, with my soul, with everything. And and going for it. You know, this is
Yeah.
the only way out. It's the only way out.
And
We
it's
actually don't have a
difficult.
choice.
Yeah, it's difficult, as you've expressed, finding your community. I've had enormous difficulties and challenges that I never even imagined having in my old life before I moved here and freed myself from the Matrix. That is in the movie The Matrix, when they get unplugged and they're eating like the same food every day and they don't understand, like there was a character in the first Matrix, his name was Cypher. He was the bald guy with the little mustache, right? He chose to go back into the Matrix because he didn't like true reality.
Yeah.
And he made a deal with the AI machinery to go back into the Matrix and just enjoy steak and enjoy this stuff, right? At any point, if when you break yourself free from Maya, the illusion, the Matrix, you can choose to go back into the Matrix. I could choose to sell all this here, not challenge myself anymore, go back to New York City, get a job working for somebody else, wearing a suit and tie, getting told what to do and make good money, and forget that this reality even exists. But it would be very difficult to forget how happy I am, to forget how fulfilling and rewarding facing these challenges are, and then overcoming them and learning about myself and learning more about reality and being able to share these lessons with other people.
Yeah.
So it's
A
a
lot of
catch-22,
people-
this reality.
A lot of people aren't ready for the sacrifice, right?
Correct.
There
And
is
it's not
so
easy.
much that you are sacrificing
for
by
everybody.
living in Costa Rica, and striving for self-sufficiency is sacrificing so many modern comforts. It's choosing a life of discomfort. And what I'm looking for temporarily, exactly. It's I don't want to say short-term pain for long-term gain, because it's relatively long-term pain for long-term gain. But it's not pain.
Well, it
It's not
depends.
pain. It's
perception, right?
perception. Exactly. It's just shifting of expressing gratitude and feeling gratitude for what you do have, for the abundance that is in front of you, that is true abundance, not this false abundance of this fake reality that's only seeming more fake by the day. So it's, opening your eyes to
And
the
true
richness.
freedom, right?
True freedom.
You know,
Yeah.
I cannot compare my journey to what I've been through to somebody who is enslaved in the early start of the United States that gained their freedom. But can you imagine how terrifying it must have been for somebody who was enslaved from the moment they were born until the moment they were maybe 25 years old, 30 years old, and then tried to literally liberate themselves from chains and abuse on a daily basis, and watching everybody around them get tortured and abused, everybody that they loved, but to then have the fortitude of spirit to free themselves so that their next generation, their children, might have an opportunity to understand owning their own home, growing their own food, going to school, having the liberty to determine their own destiny rather than being told what to do every day. I cannot compare our current reality to that reality, but I empathize and understand and sympathize way more with the strength that it took for somebody who is enslaved. Still, there's slavery going on today in different countries and different places of the world. The strength it takes and the fear that you have that needs to be overpowered by courage and hope is extraordinary. And I don't expect it of anybody on this planet, but you should expect it of yourselves because you deserve it. I knew I deserved it and I went for it, and I didn't even think of the courage it might require for me. I just was focused on the freedom it would provide me and the opportunity to break away from the reality that I was stuck in, that I was raised in, that I had no choice on. And it wasn't horrible, the reality I was living, but it wasn't what I was meant to be doing. So I knew that I would grit and sacrifice and bleed and cry for a better reality, and it's paid off. And I'm at the point where it is becoming fruitful, and I do have freedom and liberty that I never imagined having before. And that's why Miss Liberty here is giving me the opportunity to express myself, because she has resonated with my state of consciousness and that it can inspire other people. And I was inspired by others that did this before me. So it's not limited to just a small pocket of humans. I want every single human to break free from the system that they're entrapped in, or let's say enslaved to and chained to, so that you have, all of you that may be listening to this at some point in time and space in the future or this week or this moment, know in your heart that you have the potential to live your dream reality now. And it's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take struggle. It's going to take a lot of pain and blood, sweat, and tears to get there. But I promise you it will be worth it.
100%. That was so good, Tobin. I want to stop there because it's just like, yes, exactly. This is the only way out. It's through.
Yeah.
Let's go. And it's how we create the shift into the 5D. Everyone's like, you know, the eagle and the condor. This is it. It's owning your life, stepping into it fully, saying
Correct.
yes.
Well, that fifth dimension exists. It exists. You live there already. That's why we're receiving these dreams precipitating down to the third dimension. Let's talk about the science of it. That reality exists. I existed here before I lived here, before I even knew where here was, and I was having fucking dreams about it. So that 5D reality that was fully manifest now for me was sending fucking darts and airplanes and what do you call it?
Yeah.
Morse code, and every message that they could possibly send to me to say, wake the fuck up. I'm sending you this stuff for a reason. Go do it now. We need to do this now. And here I am. So I'm a testament of that. This is an actual science, and that your dream reality, all of our dream realities exist already. Like Julie just said, it's in another dimension of reality, but that dimension coexists. It's superimposed on our plane at all times. That fifth dimensional reality is here right now, and I've been bridging from the third dimensional reality to that fifth dimensional reality, transcending the fourth dimension, which is time, transcending that to manifest that dream reality here in the third dimensional plane. And if we all do this, literally, if we all collectively do this in this generation, there's no more 3-dimension. There's no more war. There's no more poverty. There's no more starvation. There's no more hunger. There's no more want. It just is our dream. We deserve to live on a planet that is our dream reality. Otherwise, we would not have these dreams, plain and simple.
Exactly what I was about to say. This reality would be so different if everyone actually stepped it up and stopped being enslaved, stopped relying on these systems that are keeping us in fear and in lack and in away from our divinity. And I think that we're waking up to it, and we have to wake up to it. It's the only way out. It's the only way we save the world, from destruction, essentially. We have the choice. One timeline is the destruction of the earth, the one where we keep relying on the systems, and the other one is a flourishing earth. And it starts with each of our own individual actions that are going to guide us in the right direction. So what timeline are you choosing for yourself? That's it.
Perfect way to end it.
Yes.
Choose the proper timeline, precipitate it down, become your dream reality right now. Thank you for listening.